France once again finds itself at a political crossroads. On September the 8th, 2025, Prime Minister François Bayrou's government faces a dramatic confidence vote. With mass protests against austerity measures and political divisions deepening, the very stability of France's leadership is on the line. In this video, we will break down what's happening in Paris, why it matters, and what the future might hold for the French people and Europe as a whole. Visual. Clips of Macron, Bayrou, French Parliament, streets of Paris. Narration. To understand today's crisis, we must go back to the aftermath of Macron's presidency. After years of political turbulence, François Bayrou was appointed Prime Minister earlier this year. Seen as a centrist with experience, he was tasked with stabilizing France's economy and regaining public trust. But Bayrou's government immediately faced challenges: slow economic growth, high unemployment, and rising public anger over the cost of living. The government's proposed solution? A Euro 44 billion austerity budget plan designed to reduce public spending and lower the national deficit. Instead of calming tensions, it has sparked outrage. Visual. Graphics of 44 billion euros plan, budget cuts, protests. Narration. The Euro 44 billion austerity package includes deep cuts in public services, reductions in subsidies, and stricter tax enforcement. Supporters argue it is necessary to prevent France from sliding into a debt crisis, especially within the European Union. But critics say it punishes ordinary citizens, hurting healthcare, education, and social welfare. Labor unions, student groups, and opposition parties have united in mass demonstrations. In Paris and across the country, hundreds of thousands have taken to the streets, demanding the government withdraw its proposals. Visual. Street protests, clashes with police, interviews with demonstrators. Narration. Across France, the anger is visible. From Marseille to Lyon to Paris, protesters have filled city centers, chanting against austerity and accusing the government of betraying the people. Police have been deployed to maintain order, but clashes have erupted in several areas. For many, this feels like the return of the Yellow Vest era, a reminder of how quickly public discontent can paralyze French politics. This raises the question, how long can Bayrou's government survive under such pressure? Visual. French Parliament in session, tense political debates. Narration. Today, September 8th, Bayrou faces the most critical test of his short term as Prime Minister, a confidence vote in the French National Assembly. If he fails to secure majority support, his government will collapse, potentially triggering new elections or another political reshuffle. Analysts warn that France is entering dangerous territory. Political instability could weaken the country's influence in Europe, damage investor confidence, and create uncertainty at a time when Europe is already facing economic and security challenges. Visual. European Union flag, Brussels, stock markets. Narration. France is not just any country. As the second largest economy in the European Union, what happens in Paris has ripple effects across Europe and beyond. Investors are closely watching French bond markets. European leaders fear that prolonged instability in France could undermine confidence in the Eurozone. Meanwhile, populist and far-right movements across Europe are using France's crisis as proof that centrist politics is failing. The outcome of this political battle may shape the future of European politics for years to come. Visual. Split screen. Protests versus parliament, ordinary citizens. Narration. The coming days will be decisive. If Bayrou survives the vote, he will likely be forced to compromise, softening his austerity plan to appease critics. If he loses, France may see yet another government collapse, deepening political uncertainty. Either way, ordinary French citizens are demanding change, not just in budgets, but in how their leaders govern. Visual. Eiffel Tower at night, closing text. France at a crossroads. Narration. France stands at a crossroads. Will the government's austerity measures push the country into greater turmoil? Or can compromise restore stability? One thing is clear, the outcome of this political crisis will shape the future of France and Europe for years to come.